So I guess this is going to be a Bobo hypnosis rant, but there also might be some other things thrown in there. So, how is it they managed to hypnotize me with multiple different missions, like use telepathy to figure out who kidnapped Nancy Guthrie, and stupid shit like that? How exactly did that happen? I'm not 100% on it, but here's my Bobby theory that makes perfect fucking sense. Using hypnosis, you can give people a strong urge to do something. Stu had my cuddle buddy take me to her shitty fucking church to watch a shitty fucking procession or whatever the fuck, where people were being anointed or some shit. I don't know. Everybody was wearing white robes. It was really fucking lame. But he hypnotized me to have the strong urge to yell her name when she was up there. And I yelled it, and he slit some kid's throat, and then blamed me for it, even though he had hypnotized me into yelling her name, using his bullshit LSD and Tetra-led and distilled water hypnosis. I do know for a fact there are other people who know how to do this form of hypnosis, and they do exist, and rest assured, if I'm ever really fucking rich, I will find these people, and I will have them assaulted, beat, raped, waterboarded, and had the worst things you could possibly do to a person to find out these secrets, so I can reveal them to the world. This is something me and Annalene Mummy God don't agree on. Annalene Mummy God said the world doesn't need to know how to just go around and hypnotize whoever you want. He said it's a godlike power and it's dangerous, because if you do that, then you could give somebody the strong urge to go and kill somebody. And they'll do it. It is about the primal urges that cause these things. An example of this is something a while back. The Nancy Guthrie telepathy thing was triggered when I decided to watch a Scott Pilgrim video. Something about watching Scott Pilgrim versus Gideon triggered that. Resident Evil Requiem, the reason why I remembered a whole bunch of things after that is that was a trigger for the hypnosis. And hypnosis, you can hypnotize triggers into people's minds. A video on YouTube I watched was each time this guy squirted a squirt gun, this girl would orgasm. And she couldn't control it. It just happened because of the hypnosis. This is how they program the missions in your mind. They go, if you see this, it triggers X and Y in your mind. This is how the individual missions, I guess you could call them, are created. They just feel like strong urges to do something you might do normally. Videos you might watch normally. It wouldn't even surprise me if some of the Cinema Guys videos that are loosely referencing me in their videos are actually hypnotic triggers, and they're designed that way. This even feeds into the Columbine guys, because part of the Columbine guys was the CIA literally fed them the information they needed to do a bombing because they wanted to see if they could create homegrown terrorists without ever actually engaging with a person. It was all done through the internet. And success, you can do that. When I was in Ackworth for the longest time, I kept getting random YouTube videos about how to build IEDs and different types of guns and shit. And I didn't know where they were coming from, and it turns out it was Stu trying to frame me for being a criminal. This kind of shit. What I guess maybe what this entire shit down here was about was proving to me that I didn't have the qualities of being a leader. Because I am emotional because of my ADHD, but let's talk about that. I only decided to feel my emotions because I thought it was a way to recover from heavy metal poisoning. I thought that doing that would give me some type of power to overcome fear and move forward, overcome trauma and psychosis. The only thing it did was emotionally dysregulate me to a retarded point. So yes, I do not have that trait of being a leader. I am way too emotional. I'm emotionally retarded. I'm okay with that. Due to black and white thinking, that amplifies it because it creates justice. What's right and what's wrong. It is a strong sense of justice. That is what that is. That is something nobody in this church has because they operate in the stupid center where everything's chaotic and everything goes both ways. And you can have it both ways even when it doesn't make any sense. And what they're saying doesn't make any sense. Because in their world, you just do whatever. Okay? You just do whatever and it doesn't matter and there should be no consequences. Because consequences are bad. Okay? I don't fucking get it. Like, maybe that's what this entire thing down here was just to prove to me that I can't be a leader. Being courageous, I was extremely courageous in Ackworth. Extremely courageous. But that still wasn't enough. And it'll never be enough because, once again, narcissists, they just move the pole. Oh, you gotta be braver than that. And this is a thing I gotta wonder about when I was living in Ackworth is, they sent this dickhead out who kept trying to goat me into fighting him, and I never did because I didn't want to get fired. I didn't want to go to prison, which are two things people normally don't want to do. You don't want to ruin your shitty fucking life because some bastard can't keep his head on straight. But this got further out of hand when there were other individuals who were trying to see if they could piss me off to get me to goat them into a fight. And I kept refusing to fight them. For self-preservation reasons. Once again, you don't want to get fired, you don't want to lose your job. But these guys insisted. But this also went into a guy that worked with us named Jacob, who abused his wife. And for whatever reason, I think it was Kevin and David and this old guy we worked with that were like, oh, you should go over and talk to him and have a word with him and start a fight with him. And I was like, I'm not getting involved in that. And I told him, Officer Fred. I got involved in Officer Fred's relationship. I called the FBI for his wife, and then she immediately went back to him, and I told him, it doesn't matter what you do in that situation. It sucks. It's really bad to watch that person suffer, but guess what? They're going to go right back to them because they're fucking stupid. Okay? I learned that with Officer Fred. It makes the situation pointless. It really does. And if I had overwhelming force in a church to fix the situation, I would have no problem getting involved. Because all you gotta do is beat the shit out of the motherfucker. But, that's neither here nor there. That's a fantasy. These guys kept accusing me of being a coward when I was full of aluminum that makes you a coward. It is the equivalent of being like, we set this guy up to have these traits, and then we tested him to see if he had these traits, and then guess what? He had these traits! I don't know if you know what stupid is, but that's what stupid sounds like. So, I mean, I have no problem admitting I don't have the focal points of being a leader. But I really don't get why the fuck everything had to go about in this roundabout fucking way. But even these idiots. And the whole Tetra-led brain and hypnosis and giving you dissociative identity disorder so you have a mental disorder so that you can avoid being hypnotized. And because you can avoid being hypnotized, but also the other guy that you're not, the guy that can go out and kill people, your secondary personality is another guy that's not you because you can't live with the ambiguity of what you did. It's so convoluted and stupid, and then you're like, this is the superior being, somebody that's extremely mentally ill. And this touches on another point. An elite mummy god was like, oh, once you do all these things, you kill somebody, you get dissociative identity disorder, this. And I was like, okay, so you completely remove a person from themselves. They're no longer themselves. There's something else that you created, an amalgamation, a chimera of personality traits you decided were desirable, and then you hand them everything to be great. And he went, and I was like, why don't you just hand him everything to be great to begin with and just see what happens?
Hey, is Wolf in there?
Yeah. So, I personally don't fully understand that. The whole aspect that, like, desirable traits are fucking optional at best, okay? Not every leader has every fucking trait ever. But honestly, even the stupid shit that, like, I refuse to feel my own emotions, and then they're like, we're gonna make you feel your own emotions. And what does that do? That makes me a horrible leader. That's what that does. That makes you a horrible leader. And I don't really care for any of this other stupid bullshit, honestly. Because it's all convoluted and dumb. It really is. And then the other side of that is they fuck with your mind with the Tetra-led, LSD, and hypnosis. And once again, like, once I get a job and I start making money, I'm going to save up. And I know 4 people definitively in Ackworth that have these things. I'm going to go get people. And I'm going to beat, rape, and waterboard these people until they tell me how to do it. And then I'm going to release it to the world. And I'm going to demonstrate it live on YouTube. That you can do this to people. You can hypnotize anybody you want. And I'm going to give instructional videos out. Just so everybody can do it. And I remember Anal Eating Mummy God was like, the only thing you'll do with that is it will lead to anarchy. You'll have people all over the U.S. spraying people in the face with Tetra-led and then hypnotizing them into doing things they would never do. He's like, you'll have people murdering their kids. You'll have people crashing their cars. You'll have somebody hypnotize somebody and be like, next week on Monday, Dad, you're going to want to crash your car into a ditch and die so I can collect your life insurance. And he went on a thing talking about that the Tetra-led LSD shit and the hypnosis is extremely fucking dangerous, and you can't just go around doing it to people, and you can't just let everybody have it because it's not that type of skill. And yet, what did they do? My dumbass fucking cuddle buddy was hypnotizing me with this bullshit and fucking up my mind like an immature child. Blondie multiple times at Papa John's did it to fuck with my mind because he was behaving like an immature child. So, Anal Eating Mummy God, like, are you being serious right now? The immature, stupid, emotionally stunted retards need to have this ability, but nobody else? What I say to that is fuck you, man. Fuck you. Alright. I personally believe if I had enough money, and like, once again, it's Tetra-led, LSD, and something else. Okay? Fuck it, it could be DMT. I don't know. My plan is to just try everything to figure out how to get people into the suggestive state by inducing it through drug use. Because I guarantee you there's a way to induce the suggestive state through drug use. And it's not that hard. Okay? And once everybody has it, I guarantee you there are going to be laws made. There are going to be provisions created, and there are going to be things changed. That's why these things need to be exposed. That's why the world needs to know. And Anal Eating Mummy God was explaining to me you don't want the world to know that because there are evil people out there that'll use this stuff maliciously. No more malicious than you people who use it for human sacrifices, human trafficking, killing people, and eating babies. You're the most evil people on the planet, so you don't get to go, there are more evil people out there. Doesn't matter if they have it? No, it doesn't. We live in a stupid world with stupid people. And it's unfortunate that the stupid people even stumbled upon this ability. Yeah. That's just my opinion on this subject.